I'm live. This is Rich Lieberman, the Bay Area Media Pulse. I'm finally at about 75, 80%, but I've been chomping at the bits. I have not strayed away. I've tried to keep in contact with my leads, my sources, and I'm working on a number of stories that I hope to bring you as long as you are able, those of you that have the financial wherewithal to keep me funded so I can continue to give you the inside dope and not the BS, not the spin, not the garbage, not the press release journalism that you'll otherwise get if you watch or listen to these Bay Area miscreants. And they're not alone. They're all over the landscape. But I'm going to concentrate on my area, which is San Francisco, the East Bay, Oakland, San Jose, Silicon Valley, and beyond. Let's start with the usual suspects. KNBR, living on fumes, not because they're a lousy radio station, not because they have interns and little white college Uber drivers running around as if they were at a frat boy station. All of that is completely true. What they fake about is now they're trying to diversify their fucked up dreck. So now they have a YouTube show so they can measure some of their ill-forgotten, misbegotten content with crap because they realize the only way they can resonate partly is to get some following amongst their social media, their legion of trolls and schmucks and yahoos, because they certainly don't have any talent. This is the funniest thing. They have a show that's called Dirty Work in the afternoon. Oh, that's supposed to be sarcasm. They got a schmuck, one of the alleged program directors that they had in the past, Adam Copeland, Copes, who's only there because he checks certain boxes that have nothing to do with talent, whose co-partner in crime just happens to be the son of Greg Papa, or as they call him, G-Pop or Pop One, who puts up with and got his young son a job named D-Pop, Derek Papa. They have the gall to say the best sports show in America. What? They're not even the best sports show on KNBR, and there's only 2 or 3 of those. Who says you're the best sports show in America? You did? You're not funny. You're not sarcastic. You're a smart aleck bunch of duos who have no talent. You foist all this crap, Dirty Work. Yeah, that's a real original name. You really have dirty work. You know, the only dirty work are the ratings, of which you have none. There is no dirty work. There's dirty ratings like no ratings. Otherwise, you spew out fake news, in this case, sports news. You're a joke. You've absolutely mishandled the days of when KNBR was a legitimate sports radio station. Now they are mocked. Daddy radio still doesn't work. Absolute farce. Then KCBS. What a joke. An out and out ridiculous cesspool of incompetent, uninteresting, boring, lousy, cheap people who are just hanging on, some of whom should retire, some of whom should take a buyout offer from Odyssey before they go from penny stock into, guess what? Bankruptcy again. Nobody listens to KCBS. And when they do listen to KCBS, it's out of necessity. The few people that have an AM radio in their car to listen to traffic reports that are getting bombarded by 18,000 hours of commercials, miscast anchors, miscast reporters, reporters who don't know the lay of the land, reporters who are there because the program director and vice president, who never spent a minute in the field, who is a joke, a woman by the name of Jenny Seelig, who employs her ex-husband or husband, whatever, maybe she got back together, because he doesn't cost anything. It is a joke. KCBS, you're a joke. KTVU, a television station that used to be professional and interesting and watchable along the days of Kevin O'Brien and John Redding and Frank Somerville, even though Frank Somerville had issues galore. But at least the 10 o'clock news was watchable. Now they have people that are uninteresting. Dreck, and more Dreck. People that should not be in the anchor position, who are boring, who are detested by their own employees at the very TV station they have. KTVU has become foxified, has become uninteresting, has become the essence of non-Cox Communications, the company that used to own them, that used to produce great news, that used to be legit and interesting. Now, holy fuck, KTVU is a joke. Mike Meback, disaster. Claudine Wong, a checkboxes hire. Other than that, disaster. The morning crew, including you two, Sal Castaneda, disaster. Dave Clark, geez, I wonder why you're there, Dave. A disaster. KTVU is a mess. And finally, KGO TV, part of that lovely mouse mafia known as ABC Disney. A bunch of moribund, out and out, absolute incompetent, robotic zombies. They got rid of Mike Finney. Remember him? The 7 on your side consumer reporter who just suddenly disappeared one day. Maybe Disney got rid of him via the It's a Small World After All, and then he fell into the lake and they didn't report it. Disney is a joke. Channel 7, San Francisco, otherwise known as ABC 7. Snitches, bitches, itches, and leeches. No news. No news commentary. And the only news that they give out is fake news. Zombies. Led by Dan Ashley. Larry Beal, a fraud. Spencer Christian. I'm glad that he was able to get out of the ABC corporate bond in New York, survive the waning days of Good Morning America, so he could play golf with his buddy Dan Ashley. Another fake. Fake, and fake. Julian Glover, a snitch and a fake. Amadeus. When's the last time you took a journalism class, Amma? Sandia Patel. Geez, I wonder how you got that job. And all the other fakes. And finally, Reggie Akey. The fact that Disney can keep this absolute moron, this schmuck, this 4 deuces of incompetence aboard, even in the morning when nobody watches, is an out and out crime. But they produce fake news. They are zombies. Shame on Mr. Ashley, who has the wherewithal to complain and to call out these assholes. Disney. a complete fake company whose only real goal in life is to hire people who are not only not qualified, they check boxes. They check certain gender boxes and race boxes and ideological boxes, all to satisfy the Disney goal. Has nothing to do with news, has nothing to do with news distribution. They don't even take care of their employees, the longtime employees who've been there forever. They are a joke, which is basically San Francisco news media at its finest. A joke. Radio, TV. Did I mention the Chronicle? They're a joke too. I have never seen it this bad, and I continue to marvel. And thank God you have me here to make fun of them and to call them out, like I always will, as long as I'm here.